And you'll edit some stuff, right?
Nope.
Okay.
We'll edit only as needed.
Okay.
Gotta give this kid the truth.
Get ready. Truth is coming.
Hi.
Super ready. 2020. This is the 24th episode, so he knows that in 2020 nobody knows what's true and what's false anymore. We're just out here living. Pandemic.
Yeah. How you guys holding up?
Good.
We're good.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Comfortable. Once it's like after 6, I'm like over it. Like even during the day, I'm fine. Probably because we eat dinner and then my stomach's like fuller than usual, so there's just even less room in there. So it's just like way more uncomfortable. Like I don't eat that much during the day. I just am not that hungry. I like can't. But at dinner, I always eat too much, and then just.
We did a baby class thing, like a birth class or whatever, and they were saying that the last couple weeks you like lose your appetite because the baby's just taking up so much space in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at that point. His little kicks are like whole butt moves now.
Oh.
Turns and.
So.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Same old.
Wonderful.
Getting excited?
What is
We
that? Your
are
phone ringing?
excited. I wish
Am I
we
going
could be
crazy?
there. Wish you could see everything in person.
Yeah.
Miss you.
You don't hear that? You don't hear my dad's phone ringing off in the distance?
No.
That's not me, right?
There's nothing ringing.
Nothing ringing here.
Is your ears just ringing? Maybe it's my phone ringing upstairs.
Your phone is ringing upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, there's a phone ringing somewhere in this place.
If you hear it again, tell me, because then
Now, you specifically said my dad's phone's ringing.
you're on your dad's phone.
I thought it sounded like your work phone ring to me for some reason.
You wouldn't be a problem anymore now, would it?
True.
Well, thanks for having this baby chat with us for future baby watching this.
Anytime,
Sunday.
call back.
Thanks
So we
for
always
inviting.
explain to future baby how we know our guests. Tell us about when we met.
We met about almost 33 years ago, right?
About 32 and a half.
Yeah, it'll be 33 years in December.
A fateful December's Eve.
Fateful December's Eve, yes.
What I was going to ask you. So what was it like when you found out that you were having me?
It was exciting and scary at the same time. It's always like that, I think, being a first-time parent, because you don't know what to expect. You hear things from other people and everybody tells you their stories, good, bad, or indifferent, but you go through it. And it's great. Look at you now.
There was no
Now
script. There was no script. There was no podcast. There was no meetings. There was
no Zoom.
just action.
I don't even
we did
think
what we had to do. And
I don't even think we had a cell phone. Dad had a beeper. We didn't have cell phones or anything. Dad had a beeper, and
the infamous McDonald's beeping.
Yeah. When
it finally went off, I was right across the street in the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah.
Right from the house.
Didn't even get your pancakes.
That's very
What
weird.
were you?
I could have, because you weren't born till the following day. I didn't know I had that time.
So what was it like when you started to go into labor?
It was scary because it just you don't know. Everybody tells you, oh, how do you know you're in labor? And they're like, oh, you're going to know. And and not to be graphic, but it felt like I had to use the bathroom. And I just started sweating, and I'm like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah, that class thing was like the contractions will like take your breath away, like you'll know. And they said your belly will feel like
yes,
a
definitely.
small one, it feels like a nose. A medium, it feels like a chin. And then like a hard contraction feels like the wall.
Like how hard your stomach gets.
What do you mean a nose and chin?
Like when your stomach,
if you feel your
when
belly.
contract, your stomach gets like harder. And
Okay.
she said that's like that's kind of what to expect is like when it's like a small one, it'll feel like if you push your nose, a medium one.
Oh.
That's what the belly will feel like.
And like the big ones feel like as hard as a wall would feel. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in between chin and ball sometimes.
He's-
I mean, it's
What did she just say?
thin and wall.
Like when Eva's she's getting like these early contractions and her belly gets really hard because
Yeah.
the contracts.
I mean, they're probably just, early labor, Braxton Hicks things, but
Yeah, it could be him just moving around too.
yeah.
He'll get over it. He wants out.
Yeah.
He's tired of being confined.
For sure.
So how long were you in the hospital? I know you went in on what, the 26th?
Yeah, we went in labor on the 26th, and I had you at 12:26 a.m. on 12:27. So I was in labor for I think we started like lunchtime the day before, so over 12
It
hours.
was like 11:30 when I got the beep.
In the afternoon, in the morning, and had you like after midnight.
You know what a beeper is, don't you?
Page
Kid watching this, not so much.
You were still around when we were kids.
Don't worry, I saved it for him.
I'm sure there's a whole bunch of memorabilia.
I remember beeping my mom when like she would be like working.
I don't remember.
I'd have like a certain code that I would put in so she knew it was me.
We were always pretty technological to an extent. Like I don't remember having beepers.
But cell phones didn't come till like we were like till I was probably like 10.
I don't know. I don't remember I don't know. I don't remember having any. I don't remember beepers being around. Like I never beeped either one of you.
No, by the time you were old
Yeah,
enough
most
to beep
5-year-olds
somebody.
didn't have beepers.
No, by the time you were old enough to use the telephone or anything, I think we were past the beepers at that point.
Yeah.
I had all that stuff through work
Mhm.
early on. I mean, I had a cell phone back when it was hardwired into your car.
Yeah, you had early car
Jerry
phone.
used to work for Bell Telephone, and he'd get us the old limo phones and stuff.
Right,
And
a
I'm
big
driving
Tupperware
around an old
box.
Ford pickup with a cell phone that had it built into a Rubbermaid box. I still have it down at work.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was funny.
I took a Rubbermaid box and built a car phone that was supposed to be built into a car into a box. So I technically had a portable before anybody had portables. And all I would do is plug it in the cigarette lighter, and any car I was in would have a cell phone.
We didn't even have cigarette lighters
Before they had
anymore.
handhelds.
Yeah.
That was way back when? 86, 85.
87.
So what was
Pre-
the transport of a baby like in 1987? Put me in a shoebox, drive me home.
No, actually, the rules, there really weren't that many rules back then, and nothing was as strict because we didn't have a car seat. So they're like, they weren't going to let us go home. I'm like, we're not that far, so they let us go. I held you in my arm.
Thank God you fit in the milk crate.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
That's funny.
I got video of you coming home from the hospital, so we can have video. Pushed out in the
They
wheelchair.
wheeled me out in a wheelchair. I was holding you. I got in the car, and in the front seat, I put the seatbelt on. I was holding you. We stopped at Ted and Joan used to live close by. We stopped at Ted and Joan, show everybody the baby. You're fresh out of the hospital.
How long did you stay after I was born? So I was born the 27th. When did you get out of the hospital?
I was in there probably because I had cesarean, unexpected cesarean. I was in there, well, back then I was in there a good 5 days, about a week or so.
Oh, yeah, that was the glorious part of the whole deal.
Yeah, it's weird not like knowing what it will be. Apparently Einstein, where we're going, has one of the lower rates in the area. Like if hospitals on average do like 30-40% C-sections, this place does like 15-17% because they try not to.
That's where
Well, we didn't plan on it. It was like dropped in our lap.
Yeah.
usually people don't.
Yeah, it's not,
At midnight.
the ultrasounds weren't even what they were. Did you get like ultrasound? You didn't get pictures or anything, right?
No pictures, no. We just had an ultrasound and
it was very, very basic.
Very
It wasn't like the ultrasounds now.
It
was like a real flimsy one picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have
You still
one.
have
I
it?
think I have one. Yeah, of course. In a baby album, I have one picture, and couple little things.
Probably your
I'll give it
teeth.
to you. No, I do have some of your teeth.
Weird.
Your umbilical cord I saved. I put that
No,
in.
you didn't.
I did. Yeah, it's in the
I've
album.
seen that. It looks gross. We should eat it and see
No,
my
What?
stem cells.
Stem
We
cells.
saved it in case of a clone.
it's probably not
Yeah,
good.
I just kept
We
it.
can save our
I know
babies.
that's something that people in our generation talk about now that we haven't. Is you can save the blood from the umbilical cord. It's supposed to be like really good.
Oh, cord clamping.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking I need to research what that is all about.
I don't know what it's for. I put it in smoothies probably.
No, I think there's something else to it. I think it's like
There's more. There's
Google
more
it.
to
I can't
Yeah,
talk.
but there's very a lot of people do save that. I
Yeah.
think I was the pioneer in that. I saved the whole umbilical, the whole
Yuck.
piece. Yeah.
Just
I
in
guess
like
you
a.
noticed I'm wearing Grandpa's hat.
That's right.
Your
Grandpa was in it.
great-grandfather, his great-great-great, or great-great-grandfather, right? Is that
Yeah.
what it'll be? Great-great-grandfather?
I think great. Pop up would be great, and then
That would be great.
the next level up would be great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you're the grandfather.
that's
So you get me home. What was the most surprising part of now you got a baby?
Um.
I feel like we've never talked about like,
What's it
and
like?
my memory is garbage. So I remember like intermittent quad rides. I don't even know what my earliest memory is. You ran over a wheel of my tricycle at some point. That happened. I broke my elbow quadding.
Yeah. That was. You
I have
were
so few
That was in
benchmarks. And then I was like
Massachusetts, up in
25 and
Great
fell
Neck.
off a bike on Summerdale.
Who won?
No. What?
What?
Who fell
What?
off a bike?
Remember that? I was like, it was like the bike dad eventually gave Christian and the tire popped. So I like turned it and I like fell down. I was like in my 20s.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 big memories. So what was it like? You got a new baby?
All right, I got the other 4,000 right here.
No, it was. I think we didn't really like. You had the option to go to a baby class, but it wasn't really. They didn't really prepare you or make you go, or there wasn't. We didn't have like internet like you do now, especially on the phone. Have access to everything, not knowing what to expect. We didn't go to baby classes. You really need classes on what to do when you come home with the baby, because that's really what you need to know. And that's something I guess we learned from mothers and mother-in-laws and
Yeah, that's where
things like
that's where
that.
we got our information from. My mom, your
My
mom,
mom, yeah,
and you learn the way your
because
family did it is the way you'll do it.
every kid is different, and you were not a sleeper. That was the most. You did not want to sleep. You were up all the time.
You guys are going to draw on your knowledge of your life and
Right.
your parents, and that's where you're going to get it from. Your
And-
grandmother, your mother, your father.
And you'll
Cousins.
react to what the baby needs. You might be a sleeper, hopefully. But everyone's like, oh, he'll sleep when he's 3 months. Oh, 6 months. A year later, it was like you were almost 2 before you slept through the night. And I woke up so scared because it was daylight, and I was like, ah! And it was like the first time you slept through the night, you were at least a year and a half old.
Did you have a baby monitor?
Yeah, we did.
Was it just audio?
Just
Yeah.
audio, yeah. But we
Yeah.
were in a small apartment. I could hear you if you didn't really need it, unless I was like in the kitchen or something. But
They were like just coming out.
Yeah.
It was like a new gadget. They had none of this video stuff or any of that. You had a nice crib though. We went down,
Real nice
got it from
crib.
downtown, someplace down on Chestnut Street. I
a
think it was.
fancy store, yeah.
A
I
downtown
still
crib.
have it down at work. I guess I could get rid of it. I'm gonna leave it there. I guess.
Yeah, we got our crib. So what was the hardest part having a little kid now?
I don't know if it was just hard. It was just something that not knowing what to expect, and everybody's telling you different stories. But I think the lack of sleep and trying to keep you from hurting yourself on anything. But you were pretty good. You were.
I don't remember any problems. I loved
Yeah,
every minute of it.
You weren't.
Let's do it again.
You weren't a bad kid. No hospital trips. No touching the stove, burning your hand, no, none of that. You were, if we told you no, you kind of listened. So
I don't remember the 3 major events. I remember all those events, but what I remember is me and you in the house playing
yeah,
hockey, playing football, playing catch for 4 or 5 hours at a time, playing hockey,
hiding in the
just
cabinets in the
spending
apartment.
time, nothing special, just good quality time together.
Mm,
And that's all my memories right there.
yeah, played a
Yeah.
lot outside. There was like no video games or anything, so you know, you played outside.
We played all that.
Yeah, when you were a little older, but not like
When you were
you know,
Right.
now
little,
little kids have an
we played
iPad.
together. We did things together. We were outside. We were here. We were in the living room. You know, we
Yeah.
didn't even watch TV a lot together. We'd play together, and then you'd go watch your little turtle shows and stuff, and your videos, and play. And
Ninja Turtle.
but what we did together was run around the house and catch and play hockey and football and wrestle and
Yeah. I do have vivid memories of those, like always having dogs, which is funny. And I remember like the dogs would beat the shit out of the couches, which also was funny.
Just the one dog did.
Aw.
The baby deer's like 15 feet off our deck.
Like so close.
So cute.
But yeah, I remember all the games too. Always competitive. We had like this little Stanley Cup for when we play like floor hockey together.
we still got it.
I think I still have it. Made it out of
That-
tinfoil.
Which is probably like such a goofy move. Mom probably hated this, but that like table that was glass on top, but we also made it our goal. So we would just fire a ball at it all day long.
Yeah.
Next to that mirror too.
I went to Uncle Jerry, I think. We took that table over to Uncle
The
Jerry's
coffee
apartment.
table, yeah.
His
And
house.
then like
That's so close.
the games, the version when you were tired, so you'd lay in your bed and just throw the ball out the doorway, and I'd try to block it.
Well, you just kept wanting to go. I mean, I was tired. That's what we did. I'd lay out on the couch, and you'd run down the hallway hundreds of times a day,
Yeah.
just up and down that hallway. I'd go long, and you'd run all the way down to the bathroom, and I'd throw it down the hallway to you, and you'd catch it like you caught a Super Bowl first time every time. You know, it was cool. I loved it. I think we still have that football.
I'm sure we gotta dust all that stuff off.
Yeah.
We already did. We got your first pair of Reebok high tops ready to go.
Got your little Ninja Turtle shoes. I want to clean them up. They were cute.
What was your favorite part of when I was little?
I think just watching you, because everything's so new to a child, that just watching you learn things. Like I remember vividly when you saw your shadow. And it's just so weird to a kid to see their shadow. I think it was with Rosalie. And Rosalie's my mom. So just so Avit knows down the line. But just watching you learn things and everything that's so new and fascinating to you. And
So is Shadow. Is
Yeah.
that why you wanted to name him Puxatawny Steve?
and just everything that you learned was just so cool watching you learn things, like learning how to whistle and learning how to, it was just really cool.
Oh, ride a bike.
Ride a bike, yeah,
Yeah, that one came a little later.
a little later, but
You're still sketchy.
Yeah, I had it for that week.
That was a good week, though, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
memory with Uncle Jerry?
I'd have to really dust that back off again.
yeah,
You don't remember that week time with Uncle Jerry down the shore?
It was fun. We
When
would
you
go
came
like,
riding around the corner with me standing there?
I remember.
it was so cute.
How surprised were you guys with that? When your 16-year-old who
awesome.
doesn't ride bikes comes riding a bike.
It was great.
It was, what I loved about it is what you did it with Uncle Jerry.
Yeah,
You know?
nobody forced you to do it. Nobody.
He's probably the only one in the world that could have got you to do it. And if you didn't want to do it, you didn't want to do it. I didn't
I'll teach
force
you
you to
how to
do
ride
it.
a bike.
Yeah, somebody's got this. It's not going to be me. I'm going to have to relearn some stuff.
You guys will learn together.
Yeah, you do. You learn.
I'll teach you
You know,
both.
It'll be funny. He'll be teaching you.
That's how it happens.
So The name is stuck, huh? Is that the name, or is
Did we
it?
decide on a name?
I guess we'll keep calling him. He's going to be
We just don't have anything else.
midway through the episodes.
I'm picking out tattoos already with that name. So
Okay. Well, like wait till he's born to be sure, but we have nothing else.
No,
I know. The
definitely
person,
we need the date and the pounds and the time and everything else just to go along with it.
the person in the class was saying, like on day 2, they'll give you the paperwork and you have to finalize the name. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, I know Eva to the last minute is going to like try to change her mind.
But nothing else. We don't have any other options.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, it's not on the
is there
paperwork
any
yet.
other name?
We got nothing.
Well, that's pretty much,
Yeah. Have you thought of a middle name?
Yeah, kind of.
I think we like Jacob as of now is the lead, Avit Jacob, but
I just feel like a middle name should have like a meaning, and there's just like no meaning to it.
I know we like the sound of it, but it doesn't have any like deeper meaning.
You know, we don't have any names to be meaningful. For him.
Back in the day, they used to name, used to be a tradition to name the firstborn boy, whether it's the first name or middle name, after the father's father, and then the second after the father's.
We don't stand on tradition.
We don't,
do
right.
what you
That's
guys
why
feel like.
you were
I'll support what you love.
No, you were almost like forced to use those names, is what I'm saying. So trying to
Yeah.
base it on that, but
Yeah, we were worried about that because Avit, probably your name, will be the first boy of like Eva's Graham's kids. You know, like Eva's grandma has 3 kids, Sveta, Boris, and Bella. And none of them, like Boris had 2 girls. So Jonathan, or in Russian Uniton, was like, we thought we might have to go with
That's
that.
my mom's dad's name. And so I used to always want the name Jonathan. And then, like, once I found I was pregnant, I was like, I don't know if I want that name. But then it turns out my grandma actually doesn't even want us to name our son after him. She wants it to be my uncle's kids to have, because she feels like even though they're girls, it's like in line with like the men of the family. So
it has their
we
last
kind of got
name.
off the hook on that one. So yeah.
We would have had to debate that.
And Ava Jonathan's just really long to say. So
there's enough Jonathan Haldis in the world.
Yeah,
but maybe he'll be naming his kid that. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's probably obvious, but was there any debate around what my name would be?
no, it's always going to be Steven.
Because you were Ashley.
Well, Ashley, if you were a girl, but
Did you know what you were having prior to when I came out?
yeah,
That's cool.
we didn't have that luxury.
Yeah, that's true.
We knew we were having a baby. That's about it.
Oh yeah, I guess that's if the ultrasounds and like sonograms or whatever
that clear.
were audio, like they weren't. Could you see the baby when they did it? Just no pictures.
No, I have a picture. We do have video. It's not that far back.
They had you hooked to a heart monitor, and with that long birth, and every time she would go into contractions,
Yeah, it was just losing it.
Yeah.
But, for the video.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure because like the gender is a very visual thing on the like ultrasound. So I guess that makes sense that like back then that'd be hard to detect if you don't have like a strong video.
Your ultrasounds now are 3D, where ours were just maybe one-dimensional or something.
Like
not even.
Very early.
You could just see the outline of you. I think I have one picture. It's just like the side view and the little outline.
I think we could have found out. I think we chose not to find out, didn't we?
I'm not sure if I have that. I don't remember, honestly.
Either way, you didn't know.
Didn't know.
We went full spoilers in every step of the way. Tell us the details.
You had a lot of yellow and green clothes, is all I'm saying. So that was the color choices back then.
Yeah.
Pink, blue, yellow, green. That's it.
So why not have other kids? Was that ever a consideration?
No, never really crossed our mind with it. We were worried about taking care of you, getting a house, doing it, getting everything together. We never really. I grew up in a big family. I know on my own personal level, is I wanted to be able to give you everything that you would need. I didn't want to have to go to tell you that I didn't have the money to give you. I didn't have this. I didn't know. We didn't know what it was going to be. I wanted to make sure you get to college. All that stuff didn't come out of thin air. It had to come from somewhere, and it came through us. We worked our asses off, and we made sure you had everything. And in hindsight, I regret it. I wish we had more. I'd like to have 10 kids. But at the time, the decision was that make sure that we could give you everything and worry about you. And then she never got pregnant again. We never had another one. So we loved you. And that was it.
Yeah.
Why, do you regret not having a brother, sister?
It never. No, like I don't think so.
I never felt like we were missing anything. I just felt like we were blessed to have you.
Yeah.
And I don't have any regret that way. You were all we needed, and still are. So I don't have that regret that, hey, I could have had more. I should have had more. Sometimes I'd say, hey, I'd like to have more. Sure, I love kids. You know how I love kids, but
yeah.
So love you, and I just wanted to make sure that we could give you everything. And at the time, that's how it worked out and how it rolled. I mean, you weren't planned. Knowing if we would have had other children, they wouldn't have been planned either. They just would have happened. So we never set out to say, hey, we're going to schedule a date. We're going to have baby. It didn't work like that. With us, it was, you were in love, baby.
Yeah, I was perfectly content being alone. I still am most of the time.
Yeah, there's not like I don't think you're ever lonely.
Miss what you don't know. Like for him, we've talked about this a lot because I obviously grew up with a brother, so that's the only experience I know. And for him, the only experience he knows is like to be an only child.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't have a ton of friends who had like a big family for me to be like envious of that or anything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I saw that and wanted it, or like I never really thought twice about it, I don't think.
Cousins, you had a lot of cousins when we go to the Christmas gatherings and things like that. But
you got a big family, but
yeah, most of your friends only had like maybe an older, like Pat and Matt had like one older sibling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what was?
We take a potty break.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option.
That's the time.
Get your breaks in. We'll pivot to minister. You excited for your wedding?
Yeah, can we do it right now? Grab the paper.
No, we got the paper. We'll pick a date. We'll have to pick something soon.
I thought you were coming this weekend, maybe.
Maybe Julie wants to be there, but she's down the shore this weekend, and
it could be a weeknight. It could be obviously when it's like fucking 90 degrees out. Like this time, there's enough daylight at almost 8 o'clock. Hopefully the temperature goes down low enough.
See, it takes 10 minutes. I mean, what are we planning here? I mean, it's not going to stand out in the sun all day.
No,
even for Eva, 10 minutes in 95 degrees is brutal. So
yeah,
it's just better.
We can open the door. We can do it in front of the Axe target. It doesn't matter to me, Stevie. We can do it anywhere you want to go. Stay in the air. Doesn't matter. It's not about where we're at. It's about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to tip the minister, do you? Tip the minister.
Not mandatory.
No, we're good. Complimentary on all my weddings. I don't think I ever thought I'd officiate 4 weddings.
Cool.
Add that to the list.
Especially your parents.
Might be a first, huh?
Definitely a first.
First for me.
You think you're going to be the only person in the world to do this?
Doubt it. I'm sure.
Yeah, for him.
I don't think in 2020 there's anything in the world that I could do the first time.
That's what I mean. Nothing should shock you now, just the way the world is now. So
yeah,
just
it's
roll
cool.
with the punches. Do what you got to do. Keep being the good person you are, and you'll be fine.
What was the most important lesson you wanted to teach me when I was little?
Um, I don't know. We didn't really like have plans to teach you, just the basics. Be a decent person, do well,
To be kind.
and be
And
kind.
that's how I
Yeah.
would describe you in one word. You're
Yeah.
just a kind person. You're a kind soul. And that's what I'm most proud of, you know.
Yeah, you were a good kid. You never
You were
gave us
kind as a
trouble.
kid. You were thoughtful as a kid. You did things for people. Even that time you went up and bought Uncle Ted dinner when all they showed up at dinner up there at the kitchen bar. And he called me up saying, "Oh, when Stevie did this, Stevie did that." I said, "Well, he's your nephew. What do you expect him to do?"
I didn't remember that.
Not everybody. I
Remember
think
that?
one
I really
Carolyn or
don't.
somebody had a baby at Abington Hospital, and they all came there for dinner, and you treated them to dinner, the kitchen bar.
And he called me up and he's like, "You can't believe what Stevie did. He'd have to do it." I said, "He did it because he wanted to do it. That's what he does." So, and that's what I like about you. And I said,
Mm.
you care about people. You're good with your friends. You're loving. You know, my fondest memory of you growing up was your wedding. To me, that was
That was
my
great.
favorite day of your life.
It was a pretty good one.
The
Yeah,
song, the music, the video.
everything was great.
I'm so glad I took that video because I got that moment.
Yeah. That whole like
I'm
the end
proud
of
of
that
everything,
year.
but that made me very proud that day, and it was beautiful and beautiful.
It's a good day.
Very proud of it. You picked a good one, Steve.
Thanks. I was kicking my foot so hard.
I mean, like you've kind of said that, like it seemed like you guys went with the flow a lot and didn't like super plan. And like we talk about that. Like did you guys have a strategy to let me kind of figure things out? Because I feel like like we always talk about like in high school, I didn't really drink. I never did drugs. I was never like
Mm.
drawn to any of that stuff. And I don't remember ever like an explicit lesson not to do any of that. But I just felt like you kind of trusted me to figure that shit out.
I think we did because like I said, you never were any trouble. You didn't come home drunk. You didn't do anything for us to have to instill things in you. Like you learned in school and everywhere else, like, not to do drugs, not to drink and drive, the basics, like what I think are like common sense things. Um, but there was no strategy because, you kind of did your own thing. You had good friends, you made good choices.
We knew early on that you weren't a peer pressure kid.
Right.
You didn't follow people. We moved into a neighborhood where we were the youngest people in the entire neighborhood. All of our neighbors were in their 80s, 90s, old ladies. There wasn't a lot of kids even in the neighborhood. So that we kept you busy. We took you places. Put you in hockey. We had you in baseball. We had things for you to do to keep busy. We had your friends over. I spent time with you. We did stuff with you. Mom was with you all the time, and you just we didn't have any of those issues. All the problems I got to in my life, I grew up at a whole different age where I drank, I did all that crazy stuff, but it was all because of the friends I was around and the people I was hanging around with. Key to life is to have your kids hook up with the right friends. Your friends are what made you what you are today.
There was no
I'm,
hanging on the corners, and
I'm proud of every one of those friends you've ever had. I mean, you've always had good friends.
they were good friends.
And there's no price. There's not one day that I went to sleep and went to bed worried about what you were going to do. But I know that I put my mom through hundreds of those nights. So I can't complain. You never gave us an ounce of worry about anything. We knew you were going to do the right thing. If anything, you wound up with more common sense than we did. So where you got it from, I don't know, but you got it. So that's all that
I'm trying to
matters.
replicate that.
I know. Like, what is the formula there?
There is
There
not.
is.
You'll figure it out.
Figure it
You'll
out.
see, like you see with your friends, even with Pat and Jen, 3 kids, all raised by the same parents, the same house, and each kid is different. It's just their own little personality,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter. there's kids who grow up in families and just go the wrong path for it wasn't anything that they were raised a certain way or they just made different choices. And it's just, we're very lucky with you. You made all the good choices. You're never a problem. Never one for turning on stoves like kids used to do, or climbing up and jumping off tables or swinging from chandeliers or things like kids would do all the time, but
You had mishaps. We had accidents. We had
did.
emergency room visits. But guess
But
what? It's part of living. We were living life when we did all these things.
Yeah.
You only got hurt because you were worried about me because I got hurt. I'm the one that got hurt that day riding. And we were riding to the hospital with the quads when you banged your elbow that time. You only banged your elbow because you kept turning around looking at me to see if I was all right.
Yeah.
I hit a boulder.
Yeah.
But that was a great day. And we still remember it.
Yeah.
And every one of them years, that wasn't 3 times. We went up there for years, many times. And they were great times. We loved it when it was happening with Francesca and,
I think I just had a dream about that place. Just being on that property and riding quads.
It was great.
You always remember where you spent the year 2000, right?
I remember being scared as shit about that for no reason.
Y2K?
Yeah, I bought into the hype.
You spent it in Fairhaven, Massachusetts.
Right.
The Squally's house.
Yeah, I remember that. It was cool. There's so many of those memories that come and go.
Mm.
We did a lot. I mean, if you sat back and think about it and looked at all the pictures, you don't remember every day, but we did so much, and we had, I remember the 6-hour rides to Massachusetts with the 3 of us crammed in the car or the little truck or all the different vehicles we took, with jet skis and quads and.
Yeah, I don't remember those drives, but maybe that's where I got the drive across the country itch.
I love that. I love that you did that. I always wanted to do that. I still might do that.
It's great that you had a chance to do that and you had opportunities and did it. And I told you, do it while you're young, do it while you have time and money and
good friends to do
it with. Yeah.
I was worried about you when you went.
Yeah.
Figuring, there's
at
crazy
the time
people
you had cell phones. Like us growing up, we didn't have cell phones or anything. Like you
realized you had the axe and you're all right. And then, you'll be all right.
Yeah, we were good.
Let me ask you a question. Where did this axe thing came from all of a sudden? You fell in love with axes hard.
The origin of the axe is that road trip. So when we went to Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, and it was probably Lowe's, and we were just looking for stuff, like what will we need? Like me and Matt were just killing time, and the road trip was coming up, and I saw it, and I just thought it was cool, that black cobalt axe that I have upstairs. And then it just became the joke that because we didn't need it. It was just the weird third thing we bought and took pictures with.
All the pictures.
And all the pictures, right.
And then that was really it. The fascination was there with that. And then Urban Axes was the first place in America to do axe throwing. It happened to be in Philly. So the first time we went was Matt's birthday, which was actually on Eva's birthday. In 2016 or 17.
Yeah, I don't remember how old my birthday was, but Bobby was pregnant, so it was probably 2016.
Which is when 17. So they came in 16, Urban Axes, and we went, and then we would just kind of, as these popped up in the area, because Philly is one of the biggest axe scenes in America and in the world, by chance, and we would just go. Matt and I would randomly go, and then when we went for my 30th, it's I just loved it. And it was let's join a league.
That was a fun day. Yeah, that was really fun.
Now I got my name on the wall.
You need something to be passionate about. A hobby.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a good one. And I like having the target in the garage to go out and throw around. And I'm Urban just emailed us that they're kind of starting back up soon. We've got that FOMO.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll be back eventually.
Yeah, eventually it's going to happen. Hopefully they'll get the vaccine down and we won't have to worry about this crap, and we can get on being normal.
Yeah.
What used to be normal.
You'll have a Ave at night, whether that's Tuesdays or Sundays, or you take
Any
them.
night, bring it. Any night.
You take them. You do a sleepover, or you do a whole day, and we'll go to
Yep.
Axe League. And
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
you
Whatever
know
you
I'm
want.
available 24/7.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy road at first.
I've
I
been
think
watching YouTube videos on how to change diapers.
Good.
that's awesome. I think that like it's gonna suck at first. I think especially for you guys because it won't be, and it's gonna suck for us. You know what I mean? Like the doctors, the people we know that have had kids that we've been able to talk to recently, or like the doctors we've asked, they're being like super cautious about interacting with babies and still like if you're indoors doing the mask and stuff like that. So
Right.
Yeah.
we're probably gonna
I
ask.
don't tell you the truth. I don't want to see the baby until this stuff's over because I'd never be able to forgive myself if I got that kid sick or anybody
Right.
sick.
Right.
So I mean, you got to
Yeah, but
quarantine that child until it's safe.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like they're saying there's ways to do it safe. Like I think once Eva goes into labor, like and we also don't want to put people out, right? Like Eva's mom realistically can't quarantine for 2 weeks before, like she can't take that much time off. We don't want you to upend your lives, but definitely like when the baby's born, we'll probably ask that you not like go to do the band thing
Yeah.
in the couple weeks prior to meeting the baby, or like those kind of things where
definitely.
everybody who's coming over for the first time take that week or two and just try to
I
like.
don't want to.
Absolutely. But
You know what I mean? I've waited this long. I'm not going to do nothing stupid like that. And I resigned myself to the facts of life. This is the way it is. So whatever it is, I'll deal with it. If I
Yeah.
got to look at them right here, I can do it. The only thing I'll miss is the smell.
Yeah.
And you can
smell.
send me over a couple rags or something with the
Yeah.
smell on it. And,
his little clothes.
We'll do that. We'll get you some onesies that are.
The whole thing is about the baby.
We'll be
And
staring through
this
your
time, you
window.
can do what the doctors say and what your heart tells you. I'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'll be around for the long term. He's not going to get away from me.
Yeah.
We have to protect the baby, but like you said, not knowing, like you don't have an actual due date, like you're not actually going on the 9th. So
Yeah.
like you said, realistically, you don't know when you're going. So for somebody to take that time off to quarantine, but yeah, I'm sure it's there's
We'll
safe
figure
ways
out some protocol and do what makes
Yeah.
sense for everybody because we want them to
Yeah.
meet people and.
Don't even worry about us, Stevie. You guys could do what you feel is safe for your child. It's your child.
Yeah. I mean, I think
We'll
we're
deal
just
with
like
whatever you want.
limiting it to like you guys, my mom, obviously Aaron, and my dad.
probably limit,
usually.
but even
Yeah.
any newborn, even regardless of the pandemic, you have to like be careful.
Yeah.
When you were born, you would have to like, I don't even think things were that strict back then. We did everything, but they gave you like little hand sanitizer. They didn't even make you wash your hands, just put some kind of foam.
I was
And
holding a
before you touch the
Budweiser
baby.
when they handed it to me. You know?
I was
Yeah, it's gonna be
smoking
weird.
them.
It's actually kind of nice because not nice. I mean, obviously I would rather there not be this situation, but we have like an excuse now to like limit him in his like early 3 months to like, because otherwise we'd have all my family from New York want to come or Baltimore. And it would just be like just other illnesses that people could be bringing. Now we're
No.
just kind of
Right,
like,
but
The safe way to be is just everybody
now we're
will
good.
everybody
We
will
have
get
an
the
excuse.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to keep your kids so sheltered that they're never exposed to anything. But at this time, you have to. Plus, it's nice out, so you can sit outside with him, get
Yeah.
some fresh air, and
And this
even
isn't
have
about
people
everybody
over
else. This is about the
distancing.
baby and you guys. So
Once you
you
can
do what
take
you
them,
guys want is best.
Yeah.
people can see from a distance outside, so it's still warm enough to do that. So it's not like
Yeah.
We're
be
glad
stuck.
that he's being born now rather than like you have somebody like Matt or Pat, like you've got to make the choice about sending these kids to school. And like there's so many more complications if he's a little older. Because like
Yeah.
the first 3 months, like Eva was saying, he's not vaccinated. You don't really want him exposed to a lot of people anyway. And that's what they're
Right.
saying is really lock it down for the first
Just
3
for
months.
like other illnesses, not even just COVID.
And then, by the time he's 6 months and a year and it's starting to not just be like a potato baby, then hopefully this is all cleared up for the most part.
Yeah.
And he's ready to start doing some stuff.
We'll do what we got to do, Steve. Well, your job is to keep your son safe, and that's that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Don't worry about our feelings, anybody else's feelings, but your own, because that's what matters. Do what your heart tells you to do and what your gut tells you to do. And you're not hurting my feelings. I'll be proud
But
of
at
you.
least we have video, you know, we'll get the
Yeah.
iPad going and
We'll have
we
this crap in the day when
have
I did.
anything.
You
You
know,
would have
now-
to send pictures, or somebody would, like, some people wouldn't even see you for months. You'd get to see the baby once they're like at a christening or you know, whatever. People get to see the
Yeah.
baby.
Mhm.
The
This will be
technology's so
fine.
easy too.
Huh?
The technology's easy because, like, I always told you guys about like FaceTime on an iPhone, but especially because of like quarantine now, like on Facebook, you could like video call me through Messenger on Facebook, and that's basically FaceTime. Like
And we could do this with other people too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you know, this is all good stuff.
Yeah.
But don't even worry about that for us, because we're fine with it. I'm fine doing whatever. I'm not.
Send me a link to the baby monitor and I'll just watch it all night.
Maybe.
It'll be in our room for 3 months. So.
I'll do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if I got to stay in the house for a year, and I'll stay in the house for a year.
Yeah. But Zoom helps, right? Like if you wanted Kathy to meet the baby, we could throw another link and another box pops up and show her. And
Well,
you know,
that's,
like,
that's all up to you guys. I don't know how. I don't put any of your stuff on social media. People don't even know I have a kid.
yeah. I mean, Zoom is great for that because it's private. Like this is a locked.
That's right. I don't want to be out there in the public either. You know?
We're getting there. We're
Yeah.
excited. Little dude moving around, and you talk to him and he moves, and it's cool.
It's the next doctor's appointment.
Monday.
Eva goes every Monday now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
You have to get grandma hooked up on the Zoom now too.
I know. I FaceTime her. She has an iPhone.
There you go.
Of course she does.
Yeah, so
It's a lot of like forehead view,
she'll
but she makes it
answer
work.
it, and it's like just her forehead, and I'll be like, "Can you see me?" And then she knows now to hold it out. Yeah, so we'll do probably a lot of that.
Yeah, grandma makes it work.
We'll have
How's the picture looking on your side?
Good.
For who?
What are you doing? Talking through that microphone?
Yeah.
How does ours sound?
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The phone, like the picture is clear. It looks good. I'll send you. I'll put this up tomorrow, or whatever, for you guys to see it.
Oh, we can see that. I can see the stuff. It's just
You watch it all before
I got it on that thing I bought, that Osmo gimbal.
It looks good.
It's all automated. I can do this and
Nice.
zoom in and out.
So the final podcast segment, we let people ask us whatever questions they have about us getting ready for this. You have any questions you want to ask us?
No pressure.
Yeah. What are your concerns that are like, what are your unknowns? I know it's like scary at first not knowing, and even though people tell you what to expect,
Yeah.
but what are your biggest, I don't want to say fears, or just concerns?
All of it for me. Well, like I don't know what to expect with childbirth, breastfeeding,
Yeah.
and then, like because of technology, there's just a lot of information out there. Like I'm in like a Facebook group, and one mom's like, his temperature's too high, so now I'm like, oh my God, is he going to overheat in our room? Like all those like little things that you're like, now I'm like, I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and like make sure that he's not like overheating because our room gets hot upstairs. So there's like all those things, I think. But I think it's just going to be like learning curves in the beginning because we just don't really know. And they're so fragile in their first like weeks of life.
Yeah, it's a really interesting like juxtaposed to your experience of like we have birthing classes, and like the baby monitor we're gonna have is literally like that you put these, they're just like a Velcro like band you put on them. It's just cloth,
Right.
and it can read that and make sure it senses the breathing, and if he stopped breathing it would alert us. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna have all of these kind of things, and we also know like all of our friends have kids. So like I've changed diapers, I've held babies, we've
Yeah,
babysat,
we have two in the past.
we've
but-
done overnights.
Yeah.
So it's just I feel more experienced. So I worry probably the most about like the impact it will have on our life, and like Eva in particular like has to like, her work situation is changing from home, her body is changing, like the toll is more like you're gonna breastfeed, and it's like managing that and all of the fear and like the hormone come down afterwards where like moms can get really sad and like,
Yeah.
all that stuff that just comes with it is the stuff that we think about, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, like the quarantine just sucks. Like there are days where we just feel super disconnected from the world because we don't go out.
Yeah.
Like we go to the grocery store and we stay home. I work at home. Like I see everybody
Yeah.
virtually. Like
Yeah.
we don't get to really go see our friends or like our little kid niece and nephews. And that's all the stuff that I think about of like, like, will the baby be weird? Like he might not see another human face, not in a mask for 6 months. Like, is that weird?
Yeah, hopefully not, but
No, because they're the first 6 months, they don't remember anything anyway.
Right. You
Yeah,
don't remember, and to him, he doesn't know any different. To
Yeah.
him, that'll be something that he grew up that way
yeah.
with.
He won't remember any of
He
that
won't
stuff.
remember.
It's like,
anyway.
we were like talking to Bill and Bobby, like Grayson was like, what, 1.5 when they bought a new house, and like he woke up in the new house and it was like nothing had ever happened. Like babies are just so like resilient.
No.
Okay.
Kids adapt
They
to
just
Kids
anything
don't know
yeah.
what room it is and what house it's in. They don't know.
because they
Yeah.
just like
From used to things,
as an adult, that this is changing. You're moving or you're doing something. They just like go with the flow. It's like, all right, so we're going to eat this today. We're going to eat that today. We're going to lay down. You have to like teach them habits and patterns and schedules, and it'll work out because you'll just
Look, you guys are super prepared. You're super educated. You got everything going.
Yeah.
We had nothing going. So that was scary. So you have everything going in your favor. You'll do fine. Everybody will, everything will be fine. You're just going to have to do it your way.
And all
your
that
way
said
is a
too,
different way than our way because it's a different time.
I'm not like actually scared. Like I think my overall feeling is like we got this. You know what I mean? Like I have no doubts in our ability to like. I am maybe a little scared that it'll be colicky. Like Molly had some kind of like internal something, and she like scary cried. Like it was.
Wait till it happens. That's when the scared comes.
Mhm.
You're not going to be scared ahead of time. But once it actually is going down, to me, it's a scary event because you never know what's going on.
You don't know. There was
I'm scared in the way that
the word
sucks.
Syrian. I never even heard the word before.
Because they don't prepare you like they do now. It wasn't like nobody ever said, "Oh,"
I said, "What's that?"
Nobody's, and I wasn't expecting it either. I didn't know what was happening. I was in so much pain.
At
I was in
midnight,
so long after 12 hours
12
of
hours
going
of
on, no food, no anything, ice chips.
5 or 6 different families went through that delivery lounge in the time I was there.
And
People
it's
are coming in
scary.
and going.
But the thing is, I think because of not being able to prepare, because you were like, I didn't have time to think about it. It just happened. So it just had to deal with it. And it turned out fine. You just adapt to whatever. But we were not prepared. We didn't know what to do. We didn't have a car seat to bring you home.
There wasn't that much. The internet was like new. There wasn't like you couldn't just, wasn't all that information available.
No cell phones or anything. So you couldn't even like.
Some people had cell phones, beepers.
Right, but it wasn't like that where you could just sit and talk to your friend and just sit and wait.
Time.
It's a whole different time. So you guys have a lot more, but you'll work it out. It'll be fine. You'll see.
You got it.
Once you go into labor and you got your bag packed and
you got this.
You got this. Did you do a dry run to the hospital?
No, but
we've been there.
Yeah.
Like
been
Matt,
there? Okay.
Matt gave birth to his kids there. Bobby did.
My ultrasounds have been there, so I'm like.
Okay, okay. See, we never.
I feel comfortable knowing where it is and stuff.
Yeah, like that too. Like and now, like even in COVID, that birth class, they give a virtual tour, and they literally like you can walk the building in the virtual tour and see where to go.
Yeah, she like walked.
And we've been there before. The only difference was like when you get out of those elevators, right, I guess is where we visited babies, and left is where we'll go to delivery.
Yeah.
So we know what to do.
Yeah, you guys are a lot more.
It'll be fun.
Prepared.
A few months of virtual grandchild will be all right.
I'm willing to wait for it.
Wait for it.
Any other questions?
No.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Thanks for being on our show.
If you have any questions, or we just can't wait. Just can't wait.
This was good. It was. We talked about earlier. Like, there's so much stuff that I don't know we've ever had conversations about, like raising me. It was like an interesting, and it's cool to like give to Avit someday to
It
see
was
how
a
we were feeling in
50-50
these
deal.
moments.
We half raised you and you half raised us. It was a back and forth thing with us. You taught us, we taught you.
And
We
there's
were all learning together.
different backgrounds. Like Dad's family is like one of 11, and they're just whole different. Like we were Ukrainian, we spoke Ukrainian, and you'll have that too. You'll have a different culture and a different something different. Because I learned from you too. Like I never went to like a Roman Catholic church in my life. I learned with you. Like we didn't do confirmations and anything
Everybody in the
school-related.
world is different. It's like,
Yeah.
mom might have been from Mars. I never knew a Ukrainian person. I never talked to him before, but I
And then
wasn't
hearing me
averse
speak
to
a
it.
different
I liked
language
it.
is
I
like,
thought it was
yeah.
cool.
You have the same
It
No matter
experience.
what you spoke or,
History
how it
repeats.
is in life.
Married his mom.
And look, all these years later, look who's sitting next to me.
Yeah, about to get married.
About to get married.
Finally.
Officiated by your son. What a ride.
Full
That's
circle.
cool.
Yeah, the main lesson in life is love is in your chest, in your heart, not in your ring, not on the picture on your wall. None of that matters.
Right.
If the love doesn't reside in your heart, nothing else matters. And that's all you live by. You love the one you love, and you treat them right. You respect them the way you want to be respected. And I know you have all that. I'm not worried about that. I know that Eva got a great guy, and she's a lucky woman.
True.
And vice versa for
Vice
you.
versa,
I know that you
absolutely.
picked. I was so proud of your whole choices in life and everything you did. You might have kissed a couple frogs before you found that princess, but guess what?
Who
You
hasn't?
found it.
Yeah. The frogs are important.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks
All
for
right, guys.
All right. We'll see
Love
you
you.
soon.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you for Zoom, and
Thanks.
let's talk in person sometime soon.
Yeah, we'll come see you soon.
Soon enough.
Sounds good.